Hello, Atlantean Reunion Wave. Today, I decided to do something a little bit different for this channel, and that is to actually pull tarot cards for today's message. So, as we transition, I think it's really important to know what's happening within the sky and how that affects each of us. And so, today, I want to talk about Uranus, the planet of Uranus, moving into Gemini. So Uranus has been in Taurus for a while now, and now it's moving into Gemini. So that is really fast energy. And so let's go ahead and take a look. So I shuffled and I pulled some cards. I didn't have that on camera because that takes a little bit of time, but I do want you to see this. So let's look at this from a past, a present, and a future perspective, knowing that all of these are interchangeable. But for this specific collective, the past card that I pulled is the King of Cups. So the King of Cups here, what does that represent? So the King of Cups normally is an individual, so it's a masculine, right? Masculine and feminine energies. So it's a masculine who has pretty good control over their emotions. And so you see here, I really love these cards. These are quite gorgeous. I just got them and they're really speaking to me already. But you'll see the water that's splashing around this king, and that really represents emotion. And water is just kind of that emotion. And so you can see that this water is a little bit turbulent around this king, but it's not big, huge swells of waves. It is more controlled around his throne. And that just shows that the work that you've done in the past has really helped you to be able to live in your emotion, but also to control your emotion and to see everything around you, all of this beautiful awakening that's happening, but to be able to integrate your emotion into it. So that's such a beautiful thing. The next card for the current present time is the Lovers. And so this is really apropos when we start thinking about Uranus moving into Gemini, because Gemini is represented by this card, this major arcana, the Lovers. So that is just something that spirit or the universe is reminding us to be fully present into this lovers type of energy. And what is that? That means that really what is Gemini? There's communication. Gemini individuals really love data communication, and it's really fast. There are a lot of words that happen, and there's partnership that happens as well. So as we are starting to awaken and as we are seeing the things that are happening in the sky, the solar flares, just all of those types of things, the universe is really just reminding us to really embrace the change and take the data and assimilate it and understand what that truly means to us in our lives. And then in the future, we got the Hermit. So the Hermit, this is a beautiful card that speaks of introspection. So the Hermit typically in the Rider-Waite deck will have a lantern, and on that lantern is the star. And so we can see here that the Hermit, based on these cards, is coming from that place within. That hermit usually goes off to the mountaintop and looks within. But right now, the Hermit is looking out into the future and seeing these beautiful alignments that are happening within the sky. And so that is just encouragement from the universe as we awaken into this new remembrance, this Atlantean reunion wave where we're pulling in that emotion that we've been able to generate, and that lovers type of energy where we're meeting our soul tribe, if you will, that we start looking out into the future and trying to understand how we use all of this to build a new reality where there is peace, freedom, love, and joy. That is beautiful. So now I'm going to go ahead and do one more card. This is from the Angels of Atlantis. And this is a new deck for me as well. So I will read from the guidebook because, of course, I don't have these memorized. But let me go ahead and just pull one of these. I will shuffle here just so you can see that I am truly shuffling and pulling these cards. So we have Raphael, and this is communication. And so this just goes back to the theme that we've been talking about, that Uranus in the planet, in Gemini, right? In the sign of Gemini. Gemini is all about communication. And so we see here that we're going to start seeing this communication ramp up within our soul families, our soul tribes, within our sacred connections. You'll see here that this is green, which really represents the heart chakra. So we will start seeing heart openings happening with those of Atlantean descent and Lemurian descent and Lyrian and just all of the other star systems. We'll start hearing more about that, but our hearts will really start opening with the communication that we have with each other in this remembrance. And I'm just going to read a little bit from the guidebook about this card, Raphael. Water and fire are the forces brought by the oracle to draw you into harmony that Raphael wishes for you. Perhaps you have recently experienced situations that evolved beyond your creative potential and now need purifying. If so, use these strong elemental forces to cleanse them by drenching the substance in water or burning the idea in fire. Both measures literally release the energy to the elements, thus transforming them from negative into positive. We need these initiatory forces when we move from one important condition to another, and we see in the ceremonials that use fire and water, joining together in faith. Chant He to provide mental clarity. So that is from the guidebook, and that's a good message, but I really do think that it is the communication that is being brought forth to us in that heart chakra engagement. So as Uranus moves into Gemini, I would just recommend that we consider our past of building the emotions to be able to go forward and integrate. The lovers, we're moving into Gemini. Really research what that means to you in your community, in your soul families. And then the hermit, that we start coming from that place of internal introspection and looking out into the future for what that means for the new earth and earth's ascension.